Hey, beautiful beings. So I wanted to come on to share a little bit about mindfulness travel. So I love the part of my work where I get the opportunity to bring groups to Asia and other parts of the world to sink into a sacred meditation practice, to step into the practices and the philosophies of ancient Eastern healing, mindfulness meditation, Taoist movement practice. And when we practice meditation and mindfulness in the lands in which they originated, we're also receiving that powerful, palpable spiritual energy of that particular place. So the centuries old energies of all of those beings who devoted themselves to awakening and the practices that truly help liberate our soul. So I am so grateful to be in partnership with Pravasa Wellness Travel, and we co-create these mindfulness vacations. And part of the intention through offering these mindfulness vacations is to allow people to see and experience from an embodied place the power of mindfulness travel. So you might ask, what is mindfulness travel? Mindfulness travel is a conscious travel experience that you embark on where you intentionally put your resources into communities, lands, towns, cities, and you leave those places, those communities, those cities better than when you first found them. So perhaps you stay at locally owned boutique hotels, which we do in these travel experiences. Maybe you put your money towards going to sustainable restaurants and ecotourism. So this is a conscious way of traveling, not just spending money to sit on a beach at some resort, which can be beautiful and restorative, but the resources are put to good use in those communities, which is an amazing intention of generosity and giving back. So not only that, but mindfulness travel is about awakening your senses to newness, to culture, to experiencing that sight, that sound, that taste of a different culture all around the world. And when we do that, we're really letting go of that frenetic pace of life that we experience day to day, moment to moment, back at home. And we shed all of those masks that we wear, that social mask, that professional mask, that armor that we put on when we meet the day at work or with our families. We're experiencing life with new eyes and an open heart. So it's almost as if your entire vacation, whether it's a weekend away or a full 2 weeks in Asia, you're experiencing that trip, that vacation, as a moving meditation, as a living meditation. And as you're physically moving through the world, you are also finding this awakening, this stillness within. So it's this beautiful non-dualistic practice. As you're moving, you're also finding stillness. And I can tell you that in my own life, some of the most healing experiences have been traveling. When I've experienced different losses in my life, my mom passing away, different life changes and transitions, it was getting out of that day-to-day rhythm that helped me to awaken to a new way of being in the world, a way that allowed me to see that we're all interconnected, that the illusion of our separateness simply comes from the ego and comes from our conditioning, what we learn when we're children through society and our families. And when we see that at the core, even when there's language barrier, when there are so many differences in terms of food and spices and geography, at the core, humans are desiring the very same things. They're desiring love and connection and meaning and a higher purpose and an inner sense of peace and safety. So that is one of the greatest gifts of mindfulness travel. And I can say, even as a therapist, that mindfulness traveling consciously, is one of the greatest practices of inner healing psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I am so grateful and honored that this type of work moves through me. And if you are curious about mindfulness travel or healing through a travel experience, I invite you to wholeheartedly be open to that message, to that calling, because you're being called to a life greater than yourself, greater than the small kind of microcosm we live in on a day-to-day basis. And when we travel in this way, we truly embrace what it means to live mindfully, to live consciously, and to awaken. Because awakening just naturally happens when we move through the world with an open mind and an open heart. So I hope that you continue to treat whether it's a day trip or a long international trip, treat every experience as a mindfulness practice and set your intention before you embark on that trip. While you're on the plane or in the car, set your intention, write it down in your journal. What is this journey all about? And embrace each moment with a beginner's mind. So I would love to connect with you. If you're interested in learning more about mindfulness travel, you can contact me at lenafranklin.com. I would love to hear from you, and you can explore more about mindfulness travel experiences and spiritual healing at lenafranklin.com. Namaste.